Hey y'all, it's Katie. Welcome back to From My Vanity and welcome to another skincare fails video. Though this time I do have a hair care to include as well, but I figured I would lump it all in here because we got several products that are skincare, so it still kind of applies, but I do want to mention one hair care. But anyway, not that that really matters. We're just going to be talking about some products that I tried, they failed, and I just don't want to get through the whole product to include my review in like a beauty empties. I want to just get them out of my collection now, so I'm going to talk about them now. Alright, so going in no particular order, I want to talk about this Avon Anew Hydra Fusion Gel Cream. I used up nearly all of it, as you can see. I only have like that little bit left. Not a ton, but I'm not going to finish it because this does not, it either doesn't do enough to help my dry skin or it's hindering my skin. So when I first originally started testing this, I felt like it just acted like a typical water cream moisturizer, and that typically works really well for my skin. So I was like, oh, this seems fine. It's a little more fragrance than I would prefer, so it definitely wasn't going to be a product that I like more than my Peter Thomas Roth Cloud Cream, I think it's called. I forget what it is. Neutrogena has one. I don't remember. It's been a long time. I want to try that one again, but I remember liking it. I don't remember if it has a scent. But anyway, this had a scent, and while it was nice, I was like, you know, it's nice, but I don't know if I'll ever repurchase it. But as I kept using it and using it, I realized that my lips were getting to be really bad. And at first I was like, you know, it's really cold here in Virginia. It's getting into like the 20s and 30s, and at one point it was even getting into the teens and whatnot at night. So I was like, it's probably just the the weather. But then I realized that it was really bad. It got really bad where like it almost felt like I went back in time. Now, if you didn't know, I used to have chronically dry lips. Like there was always this side, I would just have a patch that was constantly dry. It was always red. It was always flaking. I always had an issue with it. No matter if I didn't touch it or if it was looking okay or not, it always looked like it was irritated and dry and flaky, and I would constantly get cold sores. I think it was over like a year ago at this point, I figured out a tip, like a little trick to do with your skincare that completely took away my dry lips. And I'll leave the video up here if you want to go and watch that. That's actually my most viewed video on my channel. It makes me so happy because I love the fact that like I'm helping other people discover this, because before I heard about this trick of this little tip, I never thought to do it either. So I'm happy to like kind of spread the love, share the love, and hopefully spread the news so other people can discover it. But anyway, ever since I started doing that with my skincare, I have never had any issues with dry lips, and I haven't had a cold sore since then. So it's been over a year that I haven't had a cold sore, which is crazy, like unheard of. I would always get cold sores, always whenever I was stressed, and then just randomly as well when my lips were extremely dry. So anyway, that was quite the rabbit trail. But anyway, all that to say, my lips have been great, and then I noticed when I started using this, it was probably 2-3 weeks afterwards, my lips were getting really bad, and I was like, I wonder if it's this. So I actually reached back and grabbed that Peter Thomas Roth one. I'll have it linked down below because I don't remember the exact name, but it's some kind of gel type of moisturizer, and I used that for one night, woke up the next morning, and my lips looked like 50% better. They weren't totally healed, but they looked so much better. So I was like, you know what? I think it's this. So I actually put this aside, and I used my Peter Thomas Roth for a week. Dry lips went away completely, so I know it's this. I don't know if this is aggravating it and causing my dry lips, or it's just not giving me enough moisture to help my lips stay hydrated. So I'm not really sure which, you know, if it's like hindering or if it's just my skin needs more than this can give me at the time. But either way, I don't want to sit here and use up the rest because it's not, I don't want to go back to having dry, scaly lips. That's just not fun. So this was a fail for me because it just wasn't enough for my skin. And yeah, this is the first fail in the video. Next up is the Bliss Fabulous Foaming Face Wash. And when I first got this, I was like, ooh, I'm probably gonna love it because it's foaming face wash. I used up a good bit. I only used this for like less than a week, I'm pretty darn sure, and I used up that much of it. But one thing I didn't realize until I actually looked at it, it's a cleanser and exfoliator. Which I don't really like physical exfoliants because I feel like it's too easy to get too rough. I'm someone who like chemically exfoliates my face regularly, so I feel like physical exfoliants are too rough. They kind of, it's too rough on my skin because I'm always exfoliating it anyway. It's very, I don't know, tender or something. So even though this was extremely fine, it just felt a little too abrasive for my skin. Like when I would go to wash off my face, I was like, oh, let me be super duper gentle. And on top of that, I didn't really feel comfortable like washing this around my eyes because it has all the little grainy bits. And when I wash my face at night after I do my cleansing balm to remove my makeup, I want to also do around my eyes to try to get as much of the eye makeup off as I can before I go in with an eye makeup remover. So anyway, that kind of, I just wasn't crazy about it. But on top of that, I felt like it didn't clean my face. And on top of that, I felt like it left some type of weird film. One time when I was washing my face, I noticed that the black, like the black from my liner and mascara had kind of come down and almost stuck on it. I was like, oh, okay, let me go wash my face again. I did it again, and I noticed that it just came down a little bit, and it had still stayed there in like weird little, like almost like, you know, water droplets, how they kind of have that little wave to them. It was almost like that, and it just stuck to my face, and I actually had to go and like scrape it off. It left some type of film. I never had that before, and I think it's just this thing not being able to fully remove my cleansing balm, because I've been using this cleansing balm with my previous face wash and it got it off just fine. But for this one, I don't know, something about it couldn't fully get the balm off of it well enough, at least not well enough with me being so gentle. So overall, this was just a huge miss. I don't think it's a bad product, I just don't think it's good for my skin. I feel like if you're a teen, you'd probably enjoy this, and if you're a teen who doesn't need to get off your makeup, like maybe a morning wash, this would be really good for. So I do plan to send this to my sisters and let them use it, because I feel like it'll be just fine for their skin, and if you use it in the morning and avoid your eyes, you won't have that issue. But I did appreciate that the exfoliant, whatever kind of beads, it was extremely fine, so that is good. But for me, it didn't work. Next up, let's talk about a numbing mist. This is the Completely Bare Not Feeling It Pre and Post Numbing Mist. I've been using this recently to wax, and I thought it's been working okay. Like, it's kind of hard to tell because the only areas that I ever numb are the extremely sensitive areas, so pretty much no matter what, it hurts. But I do feel like this makes it a teensy bit better. Like, it takes the edge off of it a little bit, so I do think it does a little bit. But the reason I'm putting it as a fail is because the mister annoys me so much, because sometimes it's working fine and other times it just dies. Like, it's almost like there's a battery in here, because I'll be spraying it and it's like, oh, it's working fine, and all of a sudden it's just like bzz, and I'm like pressing it down and it just won't go, and I'll like set it down for a minute and let it kind of sit there for a minute, pick it back up and try it, and it just won't. But I'll put it away, come back the next day and click it, and it's fine. So it's very odd. It's very frustrating that the nozzle is so touchy, because there's still a whole lot of product left, but half the time I can't use it when I'm wanting to use it, when I've actually got all like my waxing stuff set up to do it. If it doesn't work, like, I'm not gonna just put all my waxing stuff away and try again the next day. I just go ahead and wax anyway. So that was super frustrating, and that's honestly the biggest reason I put this as a fail, because the nozzle is so frustrating. Let me know if you've tried this brand or have had experience with this specific product. Maybe I'll pick up another bottle of this and see, and if the nozzle does it again, then I know it's just the function of how all these products are made. But if not, then maybe it's just my bottle, because like I said, I think it helped. It didn't totally numb the area, it wasn't completely painless, but I felt like it did take the edge off a little bit, and it's always nice to put something on there just to make you feel a little bit better before you go and rip all your hairs out. But anyway, that's another one that was kind of a fail for me. So the next product is a fail mainly because of my lifestyle. This is the Crystal Mineral Deodorant Stick. It's the unscented version. I say this is a fail because I felt like in order to use this efficiently and get good results, you have to apply it in the morning and at night and shower regularly, as in like every day, if not every other day. And for me at this time, especially in the winter, I'm just too busy. And then on top of that, as I said, you have to apply it in the morning and at night, and I wouldn't always remember. On top of that, another reason it failed for me was because that you have to wet it. This is one that I have. It's kind of neat. It's just like a rock, and I actually enjoyed it for when I got out of the shower because my skin was already wet, so I would slather it on. So that wasn't bad, but any other day when I wasn't just stepping out of the shower, I would have to like run it underwater and then do it. And sometimes like there's this perfect mix of, you don't want it too wet because then it just feels like you're not doing anything, but you can't have it dry or you'll just be like scraping at your skin. So there's a very fine balance, thank you, to using this. And those just kind of all combine to make it just not worth the effort and the time for my life right now. Like, it's just, I can barely remember to put on deodorant once a day, let alone 2 times a day. And then just with, you know, needing to make sure that you are regularly showering so that you don't stink. It's just, I need something a little more dependable than that. So anyway, those all combine to make it a fail for me. I do think the product works though, as I said. You do have to keep in mind though that it is unscented. So when you do sweat, and if you do, you know, let it go too long before taking a shower or reapplying it, you can smell yourself very well, and that was really weird. There were a couple of times I was just like, man, I feel like I stink, and I even asked my mom because I was with her, I was like, Mom, do I smell? And she's like, oh no, you know, you kind of smell like you intensified. But it was weird for me because like usually when I put on deodorant, it's like some type of fragrance, so when you do sweat, you kind of catch whiffs of that fragrance, not of me. All that combined, that's why Gideon walked off with my product, but that's why that deodorant just doesn't work for my lifestyle right now. I am planning to send that to my sisters as well because one of them has a big issue with finding deodorants that work well for her skin. She reacts to a lot of deodorants and gets rashes and stuff like that. So I'm very curious to see if maybe the mineral will be better for her because it doesn't have so many different types of ingredients that might irritate her skin. But yeah, for me, that one was a fail. Okay, and last step, as I said, it is a hair care product. This is from Not Your Mother's Natural. It's their Activated Bamboo, Charcoal, and Purple Moonstone. It's the Restore and Reclaim Shampoo. It says it clarifies to help remove buildup and impurities. I've been wanting to try cheaper shampoos and conditioners because I feel like I typically buy the high-end ones whenever Ulta has their sales where they're like half off or something. I typically just buy it then because it's not too much more expensive than, you know, the drugstores. But I wanted to see if maybe that was a way I could save some money on. So I picked up this recently whenever it was on sale. I got it and I tried it and instantly I did not like it. Like I remember the first time I took a shower with this and I ended up using a deep conditioner for the conditioner. But I've been using that for forever, so I know it wasn't the conditioner, but that day, as soon as my hair dried, whenever I kind of like touched up into my hair felt like there was product buildup or just like I hadn't showered for 3-4 days. You know, the oil buildup that starts to happen? It felt like that the day I took a shower, like before the night, like before 24 hours, it already felt kind of like thick and oily, and I was just like, oh, that's weird, like I don't like that. And I noticed that like by day 2 my hair was terrible. I had to go wash it again, so I was like, maybe I didn't wash it out well enough or I didn't use it well enough. So I took very good care the next time I took a shower, made sure I washed my hair very thoroughly with this. I rinsed it really well and I conditioned the ends of my hair just like I always do with all that I've been doing for the past like 5 years. Got out, washed it. That night, I was already starting to feel like it had oil buildup. And I was just like, oh, 2 strikes, you're out. I'm not going to sit here and try to figure a way to make you work. If you're going to leave me oily, I don't have time for that. When I wash my hair once a week, I need to know my hair is clean and will last me till the next week, and this just did not cut it. My husband even made a comment when I was like on day 3 or 4. He was like, whoa, when's the last time you washed your hair? And I was like, I know, it's terrible, right? It looks like I haven't washed my hair in like 2 weeks, but it's only been like 3-4 days. Did not like this, and yeah, not gonna finish the bottle. So there you have it. Those are all my skincare fails and a hair care fail. I hope you guys enjoyed the little noises in the background. He typically plays pretty quietly, but today he's very vocal. Yeah, but anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed hearing this skincare fails video, and I hope you guys enjoyed hearing my thoughts on these products. Even though I wasn't able to completely finish the product up, I do want to let you guys know my thoughts and feelings before I get rid of them out of my house and no longer use them. But anyway, let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know if you had any experience with any of these products. I would love to hear how it worked for you, and maybe I'm using it wrong. Definitely leave that down below. But yeah, that is going to do it for this video. I will see you guys very soon in my next one. Bye, guys.